How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and welcome to another episode of Theory Thursdays, my segment where you all submit your theories to me, I choose 5 to go over each week, and then you all vote on your favorite one to win the overall monthly prize. Congratulations to all of last month's winners. There'll be a video coming out soon so you can all vote on which one you think should win the overall month and the prize. If you would like to submit your own theory for a chance to end up in an episode, you can find the email to send them to and the instructions in the description down below. Okay, so let's dive into some theories. We've had a lot of new footage come out since the last Theory Thursday, so these are really exciting theories. The first one comes from Kyle and Brian Lasavita, and it's really simple, but I really like it. Kyle and Brian say that the Avengers may not initially intend to go back in time. We know that they're going to go and search for Thanos in the beginning of the movie. And they think that the Avengers are actually going to defeat Thanos, but right before they kill him, Thanos uses the Time Stone and sends them back in time, each individual Avenger to a different timeline. This is an interesting theory because if you think about it, Tony Stark and Scott Lang, Ant-Man, are not on the Benatar in the scene in the new footage where the Avengers are going to find Thanos. And we know that it's going to be primarily Tony Stark and Scott Lang that make the Quantum Realm suits. And the Russo brothers continue to state that we have no idea what is going to happen in Avengers Endgame. And there are supposed to be a lot of twists in this movie, and this could definitely be a huge twist that the Russo brothers would definitely throw at us. It's a way to have time travel involved in the movie, but not in a typical way. And then it would be up to Ant-Man and Tony Stark to go and find everybody. This could explain why there are set photos of Tony Stark and Ant-Man who look like they're from the future and Captain America who is in the past. So, although I think this would be crazy to see, I wouldn't put it past the Russo brothers. So that's it for theory number 1, on to theory number 2. Number 2 comes from Arten the Great, and he has a theory about what Rocket and Thor are looking at in the new special look trailer. Arden says that in this scene it looks like Rocket and Thor are looking at something gold, and he thinks that they are in the same place where Doctor Strange got the Time Stone, because of the way that the floor looks where Rocket is standing. Arden thinks that they are looking at the Soul World's entry because the Soul World is gold and they look happy and surprised. Arden also thinks that either Captain Marvel or the Hulk will go and look for Valkyrie and the rest of Asgard because Thor knows that they're out there and they could help them in the battle. This is actually a really good thought because we do know that the Soul World is going to play a part in Avengers Endgame. The Empire Magazine article came out and it actually mentioned the Soul World and that perhaps the Quantum Realm is a way to access the Soul World. But Wong is still alive and he could still be at the Sanctum where Doctor Strange got the Time Stone. And perhaps Wong is in some sort of communication with Doctor Strange and that's their way to access the Soul World. This is a very logical theory, and something that I think could be expected to happen in Avengers Endgame. So that's it for theory number 2, on to theory number 3. Theory number 3 comes from Mason McDowell, and he thinks that Beta Ray Bill could make an appearance in Avengers Endgame. Mason says that Beta Ray Bill almost had cameos in Thor Ragnarok and the Guardians of the Galaxy, but ultimately Kevin Feige decided not to put him in the movies because they thought it was too quick and didn't do the character justice. And the Russo brothers have expressed that they want Beta Ray Bill in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in Thor Ragnarok, his face is on the Tower of Champions, so it is confirmed that he is in the MCU, but we have yet to see him on screen. So, Mason's theory is that after the Avengers go and fight Thanos in the beginning and lose, the Avengers will go back and try to move on with their lives as best as they can after the snap. Thor goes off to aid the remaining Asgardians in finding a new Asgard, and in their travels they come across a planet that is suitable. When they land, they come face to face with a monster, Beta Ray Bill, and Thor immediately goes to fight this monster, who is instantly hostile towards the people landing on his planet, and the monster goes toe to toe with him, equaling him in strength. They eventually come to a standstill, and then Thor begins talking the strange creature down from its rage and begins to explain what's going on. Beta Ray Bill then discloses that Thanos destroyed his planet and has banished him to the planet he's currently on with no other intelligent life because Thanos felt as if Beta Ray Bill could possibly pose a threat to him. Beta Ray Bill ends up joining the fight against Thanos. At the end of the movie, the Avengers have defeated Thanos, but Thor has died in battle and Beta Ray Bill has survived. On the ground lies Stormbreaker with every other Avenger unable or unwilling to pick up the weapon. Beta Ray Bill feels drawn to it and picks it up without a problem, thus Stormbreaker becomes his. This is something that I would love to see in Avengers Endgame. I would love to see Beta Ray Bill officially enter the MCU. And Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers have all said that they do want him to appear in the MCU. Could the timing be right to introduce him in Avengers Endgame? Kevin Feige has actually said that there will be characters that we haven't seen in the MCU yet in Avengers Endgame from the comics. And technically, Beta Ray Bill is the first one to wield Stormbreaker in the comics. So this would be a super awesome way to tie him into the MCU and bring him into Avengers Endgame. So that does it for theory number 3. On to theory number 4. Theory number 4 comes from Gunter S, and he has a theory that the snap split the universe in two. Gunter said that the snap didn't kill everybody, it literally split the universe in two. The dusted members all saw the opposite set of characters get dusted as the two universes were splitting apart, which means that there is now a universe where the OG Avengers were dusted but Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are alive. During the snap, the Mind Stone gave Thanos a how-to for a do-it-yourself universe split. The Reality and Space Stones were used to create the two universes. The Soul Stone was used to ensure that everyone survived being ripped into one universe or the other. The Time Stone was used to ensure that everything was able to continue to function without time being disrupted. The kicker is the Power Stone, which Gunter thinks Thanos used to split himself into two as well, and the Gauntlet and the stones. That is why Thanos is weakened and disoriented, and that is why the Gauntlet was damaged after the snap. It's also why he will be a totally crazy person in Endgame. Ant-Man was protected by the snap from being inside of the quantum realm, which he learns allows him to travel between the two universes. Scott goes to the other universe to talk to Hank and Janet to get the blueprints for the suits. Then he goes back to our universe to get everyone to work together to bring the universes back together. That's why Thanos attacks, that's why everyone is marching together, and that's what the new suits are for. And then when the universe comes back together, that is what unlocks the dormant mutant gene in the people who will become X-Men. This is a pretty crazy theory, but it does have its merits. After all, Thanos kept preaching mercy and salvation throughout Avengers Infinity War. Eliminating half of the universe isn't exactly mercy or salvation, so maybe something else happened. After all, his plan didn't really make sense. He could have just doubled the resources. So perhaps instead of killing everybody, he simply sent them into another universe. And the way Gunter lays out what each individual Infinity Stone does make sense. So perhaps we'll find out in Avengers Endgame that there was a little bit more to Thanos' plan than we actually know. So that does it for theory number 4. On to the last theory, number 5. Theory number 5 comes from Mike King, and he has a theory about who the second villain in Avengers Endgame could be. Mike believes that Thanos looks into the future and sees the oncoming worst villain mentioned as the new threat. Thanos starts to build his new army against the Avengers and Captain Marvel and the new threat, Adam Warlock. So the new villain is finally Adam Warlock, and he comes to Earth seeking the Guardians of the Galaxy tracking down the Benatar. But they're not there, and instead he finds the Avengers and Captain Marvel. The Avengers fill Adam Warlock in on what has happened, and Adam agrees to help them undo the madness, and together they go after Thanos. Once Thanos is defeated, Adam Warlock agrees to take the Infinity Gauntlet and starts the Infinity Watch. I think everybody would absolutely love if Adam Warlock came into Avengers Endgame. He was mentioned in the post-credit scene for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. However, James Gunn did say that Adam Warlock is not going to appear in the MCU until Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But Marvel does say things just to throw us off. And James Gunn is a producer for Avengers Endgame. Adam Warlock in the MCU is supposed to be designed to seek out and fight the Guardians of the Galaxy, so it makes sense that he would track down the Benatar to Earth. However, I'm sure when he hears what Thanos has done, he would be more than willing to help the Avengers defeat Thanos, especially since the Guardians of the Galaxy aren't there, with the exception of Rocket, which I'm not sure Adam Warlock would really care about a talking raccoon too much. So that does it for this week's theories for Theory Thursday. Be sure to vote on which one you thought was your favorite. Let's do a quick recap. Theory number 1 is that the Avengers go and fight Thanos, and right before they're about to defeat him, Thanos sends them back in time at different points using the Time Stone. Theory number 2 is that Rocket and Thor in the new special look trailer are actually looking at Soul World, and are in the Sanctum Sanctorum with Wong. Theory number 3 is that Beta Ray Bill will make an appearance in Avengers Endgame and fight alongside the Avengers. Theory number 4 is that the snap actually didn't kill half of the population of the universe, but in fact split the universe into two. And theory number 5 is that Adam Warlock will make an appearance in Avengers Endgame and help the Avengers fight Thanos. So that does it for this week's theories. Be sure to vote on which one you thought was your favorite. And again, if you would like to submit a theory of your own for a chance to end up in an episode of Theory Thursdays, you can find the email to send them to and the instructions in the description down below. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all episodes of Theory Thursdays and so you can stay up to date on everything relating to Avengers Endgame and Marvel. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Theory Thursday, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
I like this one.